Today I am in the Brap Bunny and I'm finally gonna be showing this girl some love. My biggest pet peeve with this car is 100% its fitment, and I know it probably irks everyone else when you see it as well. So we're going to be tackling fitment first today, amongst a few other things. Fixing my broken diffuser, fixing a lot of the wide body hardware, just little things that have been my pet peeves with this car. We're starting with fitment. So at first, I'm gonna air this girl all the way up and then air it all the way down so you guys can see what I'm starting with. So I'm gonna air it all the way up. Monster truck mode has officially been activated. I can never get out of this car looking cool because the Lambo doors are so heavy, but it's worth it because they're cool. All right, here we go. Monster truck mode officially activated. Now, I don't mind when the bags are like fully aired up, it looking like I'm about to go off-road, because maybe I want to go off-road at some point, you know? I got the height for it, and we got the light bar that makes driving around the compound late at night way less sketchy with that thing. I can fully put like my entire self under the car. Let's check the back. Yep, I could probably put my head under there as well, but I don't want to do that. But there you go. That's my fully aired up fitment. What we're going to be dialing in today is my slammed hot boy, hot girl fitment. So let me show you what the car looks like completely aired out at the moment. Standing far back, I feel like the front really isn't that bad. It's a really good like 10-footer. Because like even if I zoomed in, it looks like my wheels are sort of just like cambered, stanced into the car. But the rear needs a whole lot of help. I am needing to dial in both the front and the rear, but I think with the front, I should be able to get away with just adding spacers. I think that's all I'm going to need, because if you look under here, yeah, look at that gap. That's not good. That's a good 2-finger gap there. So front, I think that'll be easy. But the rear, this is the car when it's slammed in the rear. I can still fit like my arm. That's bad. It's real embarrassing. So the rear is gonna take some massaging to make it work, but I think both should be pretty easy fixes. I honestly just never got to the point where I was dialing in fitment on this car. It was always pushed off or something else was rushed, and I haven't had the car here to work on in over a year now. Once I dial in fitment, I'm gonna be a lot more stoked to be driving this thing around the Florida area. Oh, and if you're wondering why the side canard pieces are missing, the ones that go right here and in the back, I'll show you the pieces. There are these pieces right here that are completely busted, and the one in the rear isn't completely busted, but it's broke down here. I actually sent those off to Matt the Ginge because he's gonna try to scan them so that I can have my own CNC cut out of thicker aluminum, or really any material, because they keep breaking. I can't order any from Japan. It's gonna take like half a year, and I needed them like yesterday. And with how easily they broke, that's probably one of the first things that broke on the car with like barely any impact on them. I feel like having the ability to make them out of something stronger is going to come in clutch, so that is why those side pieces are missing. Closing this door is so hard. Lambo doors, not gonna change them. I love them. I think they're sick. However, opening and closing this door, there is no way that I can look cool doing it. Like, out of me, if I'm like, you know, you get in your car, you're about to leave, trying to slam the door all cool. Nope. It takes like 2 hands. Ugh. It takes takes 2 hands for me to slam this door. I think I can work on like the way that it is installed and angle it a bit better so it's easier to shut. But in addition to needing like 2 hands to shut it, I've pulled on the door card so much that it's starting to get loose, so that I always usually roll the window down so I don't pull on the door card and like pull down and in. You gotta like pull down and in for it to fully shut. Anyway, I will never look cool shutting these doors, and I accept that because guess what? When I'm posting up Lambo doors, it makes it all worth it. I wanted to first pull off the diffuser to make it easier to jack the car up from the diff without a bunch of stuff getting in the way. Also, this diffuser pretty much got destroyed when I was driving on the highway once. Something underneath got loose and the whole diffuser like flipped on itself and was dragged on the highway. So I think that's what that is from. And then this is from it touching the exhaust, and just almost all the pieces here are warped and messed up. So while I have it off the car, I'm gonna see if there's anything we can do to straighten out some of the pieces more. But even this, look at that. It's pretty bad. Honestly, I should just trace all the pieces out and have it recut. I don't think I have time for that now, but I am gonna try and straighten it out, maybe with the heat gun. I know Chris did that before to the side canards and straightened it out that way. I totally forgot that the exhaust also broke when that highway incident happened. The stud that was on the exhaust to connect to the car as like a separate hanger is right there. You can kind of see it. Wait for it. Boom. I have to take this out from the trunk because we mounted it like to the car. But in order for me to open my trunk, the wing is in the way. I love this wing though. I'm not hating. It's worth the struggle. Unbolt the wing right here. I have to take that bolt completely out, and then this will pivot forward. Oh, boom, look. It's working. It's going backwards, so we can open the trunk now.
Okay.
Sick. And I think we can open the trunk now. Hey, look at that. Look at that clearance. Oh God, also, do not look at the trunk. That's another thing that's gonna come up on the channel soon, is a proper trunk air management setup. Right now, it's non-existent. Here's our bolt. So basically, this stud was attached to the exhaust, and we just shot it through this hole and put a nut on it. Not the like best way to secure an exhaust, but most of the weight from the exhaust was already secured further up underneath the car. This is kind of just a safety for my extra obnoxious Boso style tips. I don't know what I was thinking. So I got the wheel off, and I just realized I can't adjust ride height outside of the bag because it's just a bag. I think I installed these like over a year ago, and I had some weird vision in my head that this was a smaller bag with still some shock ride height adjustment. Nah, just a bag. So this essentially means for rear fitment that all I'm really going to be able to do is space the wheel out further out so that it looks better, but I'm still probably going to have an 1.5 inch gap until I get new bags for the car. So I'm guessing I'm just going to need a much smaller bag so that when it's completely aired out, it's just allowed to collapse more. This bag is like pretty big. It was just what was recommended to me at the time from Universal Air. I basically just gave them coilovers and they converted them to bags and then sent them back to me. We'll see what we can do with spacers for both the rear and the front. hopefully we can get her looking a little bit better. The only spacers that are the right thread pitch are these obnoxious monster spacers, and honestly I'm just curious what the tar will look like. If it's better to be hella wide because I'm not gonna be hella flush. I'm just gonna throw them on to see what it looks like. Oh my god, this is gonna be too much. I already know. More aggressive camber that's noticeable now. Yep, I think this is better than it was before. So it kind of sucks that I can't do anything about this right now, but at least with the massive spacer, it fills it out more. So from far away, I feel like the gap is gonna be less noticeable with how obnoxious the poke is now. Yeah. I want it more. Chunky. Damn. Damn. Look at her now. All right, so that was our monster spacer option. And then now I put one on the car that's about half of what this one was. We're going to see what that looks like. All the other spacers are M12 by 1.25, and my fancy 326 power lead nuts are all by 1.5. If I use this spacer, I'm going to have to find new lead nuts to not be able to use these 326 power ones. So that's the only bummer, but we'll see what it looks like. This might be it. This does look a little more normal. I'm gonna throw a small like 5mm spacer on the front and then see what it looks like all together. This is why I got confused thinking that the rear of the car was adjustable. Really, it was only just the front. So the main nut on the upper arm was loose, hand loose on both sides. I have adjustable upper arms on the car so I can play with camber. I think when I tightened everything, it actually pulled the wheel in more, which is why it looks like it has a tiny bit more camber now. I want to get the edge of the tire right there, just further out to meet this lip, just the tiniest bit. It's definitely getting closer and a lot better, but I think, like I said, I think another like 3mm will bring it a little bit further out, and then we can probably tackle the rest with height. Think about that and we might be good. All right, so I ran into a little problem trying to make these two stacked work. These are the stock studs, and they're just too short to have anything to grab onto. With the wheel on, there's really like only a few threads. That sucks, but I did end up finding these other spacers with extended studs. Not that I'll really need them for the front, but this spacer is about that thickness that I was trying to get. Might be a little bit too big, but I'm gonna try it out. All right, we're gonna see if this is it. Yeah.
What you staring at, you looking dumb. No, I don't ever hold my tongue.
Alright, we are definitely getting so close now. Look at that.
Maybe you need to get your eyes checked. I don't care if you think I'm clever. I don't care cause you think I'm my bluff. I don't care if you think I'm a clown.
You know what? I will take that. Alright, this is the real test. Adam, I did it!
It looks good.
Damn, look at that.
Oh, can I see this?
5 million hours later. I don't want you to do it there. Let me air out first.
Your Fitment's like perfect now.
So that's just gonna get back here. I know there's still a gap there, but I need to swap bags out when I can. At least the spacer filled it up and made it look better.
Front looks good.
And then, yeah. Finally, 1 million hours later.
Proud of you.
It's all copyright, so you can't put this in. I hope that lasts.
That's not how copyright and stuff works, boo boo.
Yes,
no, it's not.
Copyright and you can't put it in.
Oh, I can. There's no backing track.
Monday, I'm waiting to. These are lyrics. You can't put these in.
I can. It's not how it works. Not how it works. So that was only 1 million hours and 5 minutes to dial in the Fitment. This is what I wanted. It's all worth it. I'm gonna be one of those dudes at meets, lower your car on like a $1 bill, just when you post up and you're like, yeah, I did that. Look at that. This is all I've ever wanted. Well, I'm just gonna continue to focus on the front Fitment since the rear is gonna take some time to dial in. But honestly, it doesn't look too bad, at least now with the spacers on. While I've been dealing with Fitment stuff all day long, gave Chris the assignment of trying to bring life back to the destroyed diffuser. I cut some of the bad parts off, and then Chris has been trying to straighten it out, hammer it out, find new hardware, and get this thing looking better. But you know what? It's coming along. It's upside down right now, so hopefully he knows that.
No, that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
I think this will end up looking a lot better, especially since when it was on the car, a lot of the hardware was missing and we had just put in zip ties. It was pretty bad. So at least now all the brackets and hardware will be properly in. You can see where the exhaust sort of melted it a bit because the hanger broke and the exhaust was resting on it more. Once this is done, I'm gonna have Chris paint it. And I think if we paint it all black, it'll blend the hardware in more, and then hopefully all of the really bad parts will blend in more. I don't know.
You're actually showing this diffuser.
Yeah.
Don't show my toes. Dang, get my toes out of Don't show my toes.
I'm literally zoomed into what you're working on right now.
Swear.
Yes.
Look at me and swear.
Yes. Show.
Stop! You're so ashy! You can't do that. You can't do that.
Anyway, this is what Chris has been working on, and he got a lot of the tire stain that was in the wrap out. He also took all the stickers off, so we're gonna start fresh. This is really the first time the car has been in a halfway decently lit area, and we saw a bunch of things that I didn't know were on this car, like all of these scratch marks. So that sucks. The whole side of my car has scratch marks all up and down the door and on the other door as well. Sick. Good thing is, my long-term plan, hopefully this year, is to paint this car neon yellow, House of Color Chartreuse neon yellow. It is my absolute favorite shade of neon yellow, and get rid of this wrap. I'm gonna let you keep doing this art project, this homemade,
My precious.
homemade looking art project you got going on. You done?
I'm done.
Wow. Hold up. Wow. Hey, you know what? A lot better. than it was, I will tell you that. Now it just needs a coat of gloss black paint, and I don't think anyone will know what this thing's been through. Alright, it's time to check out the new fitment on the Brap Bunny. It is officially the next day. Last night, I thought I'd be able to roll out and just admire my fitment, but I couldn't do that because right when I turned the wheel, I started hitting the front bumper, so I'll show you what I had to do to make it work. Also, yes, I understand that there are new seats in the car. I will get to that shortly. I wanted to show you what I had to cut so that the wheel didn't rub at lock. This was already cut here to clearance it, but this top piece that is completely separate, this wasn't cut as much, and this is where it was hitting. So this had to be cut, and I had to secure the bumper more to push it forward. So there was quite a bit of play just with how this entire bumper was mounted. So I ended up putting some like high density foam and attaching that to the back here to make sure that this doesn't have a lot of movement anymore, and that helped hold it forward so that it gave us a little more space. And now we're good. Now we don't hit. Now obviously I'm still waiting for my custom canards to be made and put back on here, and I will probably have to clearance those a tiny bit as well, which I should have them by the next video. Bell Raceworks, he ended up making them with his CNC machine and cutting them out of aluminum, so they're going to be awesome and last a very, very long time. Now I'll air out so you can see our final stance. This is it, you guys. This is as dialed in as this can get at this moment. I'm really, really happy with the front of the car. I can't fit a finger under there anymore, so that is awesome. Now the rear, as you guys know, we're gonna have to work on that later. I'm gonna have to order a different bag setup so that my ride height, even completely aired out, isn't so high. Overall, I am really, really happy with this. Huge improvement.